What is project cost management? It's a method used by project managers to estimate project costs, determine a budget, and control costs throughout a project. Project cost management is a very important part of project management. It is the area that examines the money aspects of the project. There are three central processes associated with project cost management. Estimating costs involves developing an estimate of the cost of resources needed for a project. Determining a budget is the process of associating the cost estimate with the individual work items to establish a baseline. And controlling costs involves controlling any changes to the project's budget. Cost management has four principles: profits, life cycle costing, cash flow analysis, and costs. Profits, simply put, are revenues minus expenditures. When considering the benefit of any project, profits are usually the first item considered. Life cycle costing is the method for oversight of the costs associated with a project throughout its life cycle. It is the big picture view of project costs. A cash flow analysis allows you to learn the estimated annual costs of a project and its resulting cash flow. Companies must consider cash flow when deciding on potential investment projects. Costs are a relatively broad category that covers all types of costs associated with a project. Direct costs are costs that can be directly traced to a product or service. Indirect costs are costs that are not directly accountable to a cost object. And sunk costs are retrospective costs that have already been incurred and cannot be recovered. Cost estimations must be as accurate as possible if the project is expected to stay on budget. There are three types. Rough order of magnitude or ROM estimates are known as the ballpark estimates and are done very early on in project discussions. A budgetary estimate is the estimate used by an organization to allocate money into their budget. This typically takes place 1 to 2 years in advance of the project. Finally, a definite estimate is intended to be the most accurate estimate of costs. It is used to begin making purchases for the project. Determining the budget is the method of assigning the project's cost estimate to individual work items. The main goal is to determine a cost baseline, which is used to measure cost performance. Controlling costs is a difficult but necessary element of project cost management. If a project manager cannot effectively control costs throughout a project, it will quickly get off budget. Earned value management is a technique used to measure project performance through a myriad of associated values which are determined through key formulas. These values include: planned value, commonly known as the budget, is the cost estimate for a specific activity. Actual cost includes the direct and indirect costs incurred for a given activity. Earned value is an estimate showing the value of work actually completed. Rate of performance is a ratio. It measures the work completed to the work planned to have been completed at a given time. Cost variance is earned value minus the actual cost. Scheduled variance is earned value minus the planned value. The cost performance index is a ratio of earned value to actual cost. It can be used to estimate the projected cost of project completion. Schedule performance index is a ratio of earned value to planned value. The estimate at completion, well, that is the estimate of costs needed to complete the project. The budget at completion value is the total budget for the project. And finally, the estimated time to complete is the original time estimate divided by the schedule performance index. Here are the associated formulas for the earned value management values. In conclusion, project cost management is a technique used by project managers to effectively measure cost and productivity throughout the life cycle of projects. And remember that profits and cost management are extremely important. Everyone wants their money.
You need to relax.